Thank you again for joining me today. We're going to continue with another episode, actually an extension from yesterday's. That one was called Leading with Nature. Leading with Nurture. Maybe I should say leading with the nature of nurture or the nurture of nature. I don't know. But I was mentioning that yesterday, and then I came across a topic similar by Mr. Alan Watts. And I think also in yesterday's presentation, I mentioned about letting go of stuff, really under the construct of the thing called control. So I think it was better stated by Mr. Alan Watts to expound on this thing about letting go and letting go of control. And it kind of ties into my message on leading with
there is a
nurture.
Profound freedom in
Let's get into that today.
That nothing truly binds you except your own mind. You are not chained to outcomes, nor are you obligated to wrestle with the illusions of control. The world hums along, an intricate dance of cause and effect, yet here you are, holding on to anxieties as if they were necessary burdens. The truth is, you do not need to strive, grasp, or struggle. You do not need to chase after a victory that already exists. The moment you detach from the idea that happiness, success, or peace are things to be achieved rather than states of being, everything shifts. You stop acting like someone desperately clawing their way to the top and start moving like one who has already arrived. There is no longer a need to prove anything to anyone because you have seen through the illusion that you were ever incomplete. The self that aches for validation dissolves into the self that simply is. Life, in its essence, is play. The moment you take the game too seriously, you suffer. The moment you believe that fulfillment exists somewhere beyond your reach, you make yourself a prisoner of time. But what happens when you let go? When you no longer grasp at the future or mourn the past, suddenly you begin to flow. You do not wait to be happy. You are happy. You do not wait to feel powerful, you are powerful. You do not wait to win, you realize that in the grand scheme, you already have. To detach is not to withdraw. It is not to become indifferent or numb to life's beauty. It is simply to understand that none of it owns you. You can dance with the moments as they come, embrace the experiences, and still remain untouched by the illusion of loss or gain.
Remember, I was talking about nurturing, giving up control, nurturing the good, the bad, and the ugly. But you can't control any of it.
The one who has already won does not beg for recognition, does not fear uncertainty, does not hesitate. They move with ease, not because they force confidence, but because they see through the illusion that they were ever lacking. And when you move like this, life moves with you. Not because you have gained control, but because you have surrendered the need for it. There is a quiet power in letting go. The world teaches us to grip tightly, to plan, to control, to shape our lives with force. We are told that if we do not take charge, everything will fall apart. But have you ever noticed that the more you try to control something, the more it seems to slip through your fingers? The tighter you hold onto an idea, a person, a situation, the more resistance you create, and yet we persist, believing that if we could just manage things perfectly, we could avoid pain, uncertainty, and failure. But life does not work this way. Life flows. It is movement, change. Life flows like life flows like snow. If you are in it, you have to think about a river. It does not struggle to reach the ocean. It does not stop to argue with the rocks in its path. It does not question whether it will make it to its destination. It simply flows. And in that flow, it carves mountains, shapes landscapes, and nourishes everything in its path. This is the nature of life. It moves, it shifts, it transforms, and the moment you try to control it, you create resistance. It is this resistance, not life itself, that causes suffering. When you try to force things to go your way, you are not flowing with reality. You are fighting against it. People spend their lives chasing things, convinced that if they can just secure the right job, the right relationship, the right amount of money, then they will be safe, they will be happy. But what happens when you find...
Yes, I think that term I mentioned at the beginning of this episode is now more appropriate, to lead with the nature of your nurture, or lead with the nurturing of your nature. I'm going to keep using that going forward.
You may have what you once wanted, but you are not free. You are trapped in an endless cycle of control, fear, and attachment. True freedom begins when you stop trying to hold on to everything so tightly. When you realize that nothing is truly yours to control, you no longer fear losing anything. You move through life like the river, flowing, adapting, embracing change rather than resisting it. This does not mean that you become passive. It does not mean you stop taking action. It simply means that you let go of the illusion that you can control every outcome. Imagine standing in the ocean trying to hold back the waves with your hands. No matter how strong you are, the waves will overpower you. But what happens when you stop fighting? When you let go and allow yourself to move with the rhythm of the water? Suddenly you are not struggling, you are not exhausted, you are floating at peace, part of something larger than yourself. This is what it means to detach from the illusion of control. Most of the things you fear are not real in this moment. They are projections of the mind, worries about what might happen in the future, or regrets about what has already passed. But the future does not exist yet, and the past is nothing more than a memory. The only thing that is real is right now. Or is the problem only in the mind? When you live in the illusion of control, you suffer twice, once in reality and again in your thoughts. You spend hours, days, even years worrying about things that may never happen. You play out scenarios, trying to prepare for every possible outcome, thinking that if you...
I love that guy, Mr. Alan Watts. I wish I had met him. I wish I had had the time to sit with him, but the lessons that I get from him every day on his the broadcast from Mr. Alan Watts is just so inspirational. But anyway, I think he has summarized quite clearly what I was trying to say to you about leading with nurture and letting go of control. So when you get a chance, you can check out the entire episode. It's from him. It's called The Freedom of Letting Go from Mr. Alan Watts. So enjoy that. Until then, stay present, pay attention, and no matter where you are in this world, please remember, it is always 8:20.